Hello students, today we are going to discuss our next topic from the drainage system only. Yesterday we had started discussion on the different peninsular river like Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari and Mahanadi. Today we are going to discuss the rest of the peninsular rivers of India. The next important peninsular river of India is the Narmada River. Narmada River, it originates from the Amarkantak Plateau of Western Ghat, we can say, and the height of this Amarkantak Plateau is 1057 meter. Narmada River, the important thing about the Narmada River, or the particular thing about the Narmada River, is it is flowing through the Rift Valley. Narmada, you will find Narmada and Tapi River both are the west flowing river of India. In case of the rivers where we can see the peninsular plateau is tilted from west to east, so most of the rivers are the east flowing rivers of India, whereas only Narmada and Tapi is the river which are the west flowing river of the India. Now, why this peculiarity occur in Narmada River? Because they are flowing through the Rift Valley in between Satpura in the west and Vindhya range in the north. Because in between Satpura and Vindhya range there is a Rift Valley is located, and in between this Rift Valley, this river is moved towards the Arabian Sea. In its course, it forms some picturesque gorges like Marble Rocks, Dhuadhar hot waterfalls near the Jabalpur. The features that is famous at the course of the Narmada River, it forms the gorges, as well as there are the Marble Rocks, as well as the waterfalls. Dhuadhar waterfalls near the Jabalpur are present. After flowing the distance almost about the 1300 km, it meets the Arabian Sea, the south of the Bharuch, forming a broad 27 km long estuaries. This is another feature of the west flowing river. In the west flowing river, we can't see delta. Instead of the delta, we can see estuaries are present. These are the funnel shape feature we can see at the mouth of the river, where the river will meet the sea. The catchment area of the Narmada is very huge, almost a 98,796 square kilometer area is the catchment area. The Sardar Sarovar project has been constructed on this river. The Sardar Sarovar project, this is a multipurpose river valley project, is constructed in the Narmada River. Now our next river is Tapi River. Narmada and Tapi is almost having a same route. The Tapi is the important west flowing river, and it also meets with the Arabian Sea. A Tapi River also flowing from the Rift Valley like the Narmada River only. It originates in the Multai Multai in the Betul district of Madhya Pradesh. Now it is 724 km long, that is quite like shorter than Narmada, and it drains almost 64,000 square kilometer area. 79% of the river basin it lies in Maharashtra, 15% of the river basin is lies in Madhya Pradesh, and remaining 6% of the river basin lies in Gujarat. Almost most of the part of the river is present in Maharashtra only. This river is a west flowing river because it is flowing through the Rift Valley like Narmada only. Now our next river is that is the Luni River. Luni River is the largest river system of Rajasthan, the west of the Aravalli, because this region, you all know, very dry region. The rivers are generally doesn't have the water throughout the river, so Luni is one of the important river system over there. Luni is an inland river of India. Why? Because it originates near Pushkar in two branches, that is the Saraswati and Sabarmati, and which joins each other at Govindgarh. From here, the river comes out of the Aravalli and known as Luni, and it flows towards the west till Telwara and that takes a southern direction to join the Run of Kutch. So ultimately destination of the Luni is Run of Kutch only. The entire river system is an ephemeral river system. It doesn't have the water throughout the year. And Luni is called the inland river of India because it starts from India only and its end inside India only. It doesn't meet with the sea. After these three rivers, Narmada, Tapi and Luni, we are having several west flowing rivers. The rivers flowing towards the Arabian Sea It's called the west flowing rivers. Generally, this west flowing rivers having the shorter courses than the east flowing rivers, because the origin of these rivers are lies to the closer to the sea. And the Western Ghat is work as a water divide in case of these rivers. Now let's see some other rivers of India. Gujarat. In Gujarat, there are so many rivers are present. Like you all know some rivers names like Mahi and Sabarmati. These two are the famous rivers of Gujarat. Then you can see in Gujarat, Shatranji is one of the river which rises near Dalkava in the Armeli districts. The Bhadra originates from near the Anaili village of the Rajkot districts, and the Dhadar rises near the Ghantar village in the Panchmahal districts. These all are the rivers that is present in the Gujarat. Now Karnataka. In Karnataka also we can see a lot of rivers are present, like Vaitarana rise from the Timbuk hills, as well as Kalindi river rise from the Belgium districts and falls in the Karwar Bay, and the source of the Betty river lies in the Hubli Dharwar and travels a course of 160 km. These all rivers are the small rivers of these states. There are Savarmati. This is a very important river of Karnataka which is flowing towards the west. Sabarmati originates from the Shimoga districts of Karnataka, and its catchment area is 2209 square kilometer. Goa. In Goa we can see two rivers, that is Mandovi and Juari. This can be an important question. What are the two rivers present in Goa? Next, it's Kerala. Kerala, the longest river of the Kerala is Brahmaputra. It's Bharatapuza, right? Rises near the Anaimallai hills. It also known as Ponnani, and the area covered by the river is 5397 square kilometer. Periyar is the second largest river of the Kerala, and the Pamba river falls in the Vemanand lake after traveling the course of the 177 kilometer. The small rivers, which peninsular rivers, which flowing towards the east, that is the Shubonrekha, Boitorini, Brahmoni. These all are the rivers which are the important rivers which is flowing towards the east. So from the east flowing and the west flowing river, we can see the east flowing rivers are less, east flowing rivers are having a large courses, whereas the west flowing rivers having a small courses. East flowing rivers, they originate from generally the Western Ghats, and west flowing rivers, they originate from the central highlands. In case of the east flowing rivers, they are making delta at the mouth of the river. In case of the west flowing river, instead of the delta, they are making the estuaries. Now lots of examples we have seen also. So for today, this much only. Thank you so much.